What is up, DNS Squad? Welcome back to another video.
That was long.
That wasn't. Anyways, today we are talking about some serious business here. We are actually talking about relations. This is actually part 1 of a 2-part series. So get some snacks, get some drinks, whatever you have to do before this video starts. And let's get started. So today's 3 topics we are going to be talking about is relationship boundaries, relationship needs, and relationship fears. So hope you enjoy, and let's get into this topic. Let's start with relationship boundaries. What do you guys think are some relationship boundaries? Because I think this is a really good topic, especially for our younger viewers that watch us. I think it's very great. So let's start with Mom.
Relationship boundaries?
Yes.
I think it depends on the individual. If you have boundaries, you need to set those boundaries right away. Don't wait till they push the boundaries and then be like, oh, I don't like that, or stop, or don't do this. I think boundaries need to be clear and precise from the get so that they don't get broken, they don't get crossed. So boundaries, I mean, it depends on the person. Some people say they don't kiss on the first date, right? Or some people say, oh, I don't sleep with my partner for the first 90 days. Or, everybody has different boundaries. So I think it just depends on the person. And a lot of it isn't even the person. It could be how they were raised, because they may have been taught you do not have any physical contact with the opposite sex before marriage. So that's a boundary they're going to set, and they're going to make that clear from the get. So I think just boundaries in general is something that needs to be talked about right away. Even in friendships, there should be boundaries and there should be rules. So I mean, I think it just depends on the individual, and I think a lot of it is their upbringing, how they were raised, how they set their boundaries.
Yeah, because especially like if you're feeling uncomfortable with the person, that goes into boundaries too. Like if you're feeling uncomfortable, you gotta let them know right away. Like just nip it in the butt, because if you don't, it's just gonna get worse. Like that's the main key. Besides what other things we're gonna talk about, but that really is the main key. Is just to tell them right away, so they know. Because then it's just gonna get worse and worse, and by the time it gets worse, then you're gonna be like, oh, let me tell you this boundary, and it's gonna already be too late. Like,
because a person's gonna take it as far as they can and as far as you allow them. So if you nip it in the butt, like you said, right away, then they're gonna know, okay, I pushed it too far. That just needs to stop. So, but if you set that boundary, then they know right away, like, okay, I can't cross this line. They do not like this, or they are uncomfortable with this, or this is taking it too far.
Yeah, just like, for example, like when you tell a child, do not touch, that's a boundary. Like you're telling them right away, don't touch it. And if they touch it, they're going to get hurt. And that's the same like in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Or when you say, okay, this is a boundary. If you cheat, I'm going to leave. That's a boundary right there, because nobody should be cheating in the first place. And then look at what it does when they do like cross that boundary. It hurts you, you're destroyed, you can't trust nobody else. Like it's just bad. Like nobody should ever feel like that, because it's just gonna get worse and it's gonna eat you up inside. But let's get Dad's opinion.
Talking about boundaries, they pretty much said it all, but I mean, I think also like if you respect each other, then you respect the boundaries that either partner puts up, and and just I don't know, just I'm trying to think like boundaries. Like you don't want to cross those lines, because that's when if you're a guy, you'll get in trouble. If you cross that line and you think, oh, and as for the woman, maybe, the woman, you got to be careful you don't lead a guy on. You don't give them mixed signals, you know what I mean? Because some women, they like to give that mixed signals, and the guy's like, oh, well, she's into me, and she's feeling me, and I can do this and that because she likes me, and blah, blah, blah. And then, want to use their suave, mentality, but as a man, as a guy, you also have to respect women and can't come on strong and just be a gentleman, man. You can't be all this aggressive caveman type mentality where, oh man, I'm gonna get what I want and blah blah blah. You got to respect that woman and you got to think of it like, and that just goes with the upbringing. If you were raised well, then and even if you're not, that's still no excuse. Because like for me, I didn't, my mom didn't raise me right. She didn't teach me stuff to how to respect a woman, or and neither was my father. He was never around. But it wasn't until I met my wife here, and but we still we were friends, we were best friends, and I knew the boundaries, what I could do, can't do, and I respected my wife. And then when we got married, and I believe that's what will keep a relationship going, is having those boundaries and respect for one another. And I believe that's why we're together now, and it's stuff like, guys, don't be lazy, you should read up on stuff, man. There's no excuse, man. You can't say, oh, well, my dad wasn't in my life and he didn't teach me and blah, blah, blah. I didn't have a role model. It's no excuse, man. Don't be lazy. What you want to do is learn. You need a man needs to teach himself. There's plenty of options out there, plenty of opportunities out there. There's no excuse, man. And always read, because that's how you're gonna learn. And communication is key. Me and my wife, we communicate all the time. So, I think it just goes with respect. If you respect your lady or your woman, then you're gonna know, and it's worth it, and learn each other and fill each other out. And I believe that's what's gonna help with longevity. Because even me and my wife, we've been married how long? 25 years, been together 28. Right, 28? Okay, just making sure. But I still communicate with my wife. And guys, just a little sidebar note, always learn your woman. Don't stop learning. Learn everything. You're never going to stop learning. And but like I said, I say it's just respect. If you respect your woman, then, and it's worth the wait.
But also that goes both ways. Girls, you need to learn how to respect yourself, because a guy is not going to respect you if you're always in the club, popping your butt or whatever. Like, no, that goes the same ways. Everyone needs a boundary. Like, if a guy tells you, hey, stop partying, stop doing something, that's a boundary. They're telling you what they like. They might be saying it kind of in a rude way, but, like, it goes the same way. Girls need to respect themselves. There's a lot of girls nowadays that do not respect themselves, and it's sad. And then that's why so many people can't find a girl, like, that cooks and clean, because you guys are kind of lazy. No offense. But girls just want to, like, I'm cute. It doesn't matter. Your looks are nothing if you can't cook, if you can't clean. Guys look for that even nowadays. But it's so hard because you guys want to be freaking lazy and freaking just party all the time. That's not cute. I'm sorry. It's really not. And I'm being honest, because I've heard it from guys. People are like, oh my God, Cassandra, you're such a good woman. You're amazing. You take care of your son. So, like, I've heard it from guys, like, what they like in a woman. And they're like, well, I really like you. And yeah, guys will tell you anything too, ladies. Like, but you have to love yourself before you can even love somebody. Like, if you're always downing yourself, oh, I'm ugly, oh, I'm this, they're going to be like, I don't want to be with that girl. She's always downing herself. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to prove that you're a lady instead of a little girl on the street or whatever. If you guys can feel what I'm saying. And it goes with, like, how you dress too. Like, people judge you by how you dress, how you look. So if you're saying that you're a lady, cover yourself up. You don't always got to show your boobs and butt and stuff. No. Like, you could still look nice with being covered up. And that's just how it is. Really.
Yeah. Well, like they say, men want to be respected. That's a number one thing with men. They want to feel respected. But women, their number one thing is they want to feel loved. That's how they thrive in a relationship, is through love. And love doesn't necessarily mean sex. There's so many other ways to show love that doesn't even involve sex. Mm-hmm. And that's when you learn the 5 love languages, and you can learn how your partner is best felt love, way to feel love, and there's different ways. So I think if a woman wants to be respected, then they need to give the man something to respect. And it goes both ways.
Yeah,
if a man wants to be respected, he needs to give the woman something to respect.
Yeah, because like it's not cool for a guy to be like, oh, that's my B over there, or oh, that's my little hoe. Like, no girl is gonna respect a guy that's always calling them out their names. No, a girl is gonna like a guy that's like, oh, this is my lady, oh, I love her, and shows her off. Just like a girl should do the same. It goes both. Like, no one's gonna love somebody that's not putting effort into that relationship. If you're not putting effort, they're gonna be like, screw you. Like, I've tried so hard to put effort, but you're not putting the same effort that I am. So why be with like it all goes with self-respect first though. You have to learn how to love and respect yourself before you can learn to love and respect someone else. It has to come from you first. But let's get Madi. What's your opinion? I mean, she's in a relationship, so she should have some type of opinion.
Boundaries, basically, I don't like showing off. No, don't like flash. No, I don't like showing off because that's just me as a person. But boundaries, like my mom said, all she said is true. That's all you need to know in a relationship. You gotta know the person, you gotta know their boundaries, and then you gotta know how their boundaries, and they have to know your boundaries, and then you guys will have a nice relationship, and you guys will stay together forever if you guys know your boundaries. Yeah.
And I think another thing is trust.
Yes.
Big one.
That's a really big one.
Because our generation, everybody just wants to cheat, and then you're like, oh, and then you go to the next person, and you're like, do I trust them? Because the last one, broke you, and then you're like, how am I gonna trust this person or not trust this person? Yeah.
I don't really have anything. You guys already said most of everything that I was going to say, so.
But to jump on what Madi was saying, that's where it goes to what my wife was saying is love. That's the reason why a lot of these young girls think it's love, but it's really lust. You know what I mean? Because if you love somebody, it's totally different. You know what I mean? That's why people are always like, oh, I got to be with this guy, or I gotta be with this guy, or be with this girl, and you know what I mean? They think it's love, and then they always have a failed relationship because they're not learning whoever it is that they're with. So the minute a problem arises, then it's easier just to leave. I'd rather just leave. I'm not gonna stick it out. And that's the one thing with relationships, guys, that you gotta understand. It's like I said. I told Madi's boyfriend. I said it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's for the longevity, the long haul, and I'm one in my family that's in it for the long haul, that's been in this, and it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, it's easy. It's easy to be married. It's even harder to be married than it is to be single. And those of you that are married know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And so just to go real quick with the 5 love languages, just so you know, is number 1 is a words of affirmation, right? That's saying thank you, or hey, that was nice of you, I appreciate what you did for me, or
Some people thrive on that affirmation, and that is what makes them feel loved. Some people,
or I love you.
Just saying I love you, or just saying, oh, I really appreciate that you took the dishes out of the dishwasher, something simple. Those little things, that's how some people feel most loved, because everyone's love language is different.
Yeah. And then we always say, before we say we don't like goodbyes, so we always say we love you, so
talk to you later.
So always do that, or I'll say talk to you later, talk to you soon. I don't like to say goodbye because it's just too, to me that's too negative. So we all like to say I love you and see you soon. you know. So, and number 2 is quality time. That's a big one, man. Lot, especially in this generation, everyone's like this. If you go out to eat, you'll see the parents, the kids, all on their phone, you know. And when we have quality time here, and it's dinner time, and there's no phones, there's nothing, it's very important, man. And at least, you know, for those of you in relationships, quality time is going out on a date. You know, me and my wife,
No
we go
phones.
out on a date at least once a week, you know, and that's for quality time. We're not on our phones, we turn them off. Kids don't bug us, and that's our time. So the quality time is important,
That's
right?
another love language.
No TV, no nothing. It's just you. That's quality, right? I know women like quality. And then also number 3 is receiving gifts. You know, gifts are another a person's love language is receiving gifts, right?
Just a simple thing as I brought you home a flower.
Yeah.
You know, or oh, I was at the grocery store and I seen your favorite box of chocolate, so I picked it up for you. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be anything really expensive, but if it's something they like and you went out of your way, or you even had a conscious thought even to pick it up because you know it's something they like, that's how they feel loved, is through that gift.
My gift for my wife a lot of times is, those of you that know me, is I love to cook. So I cook for my wife all the time because she loves that, and I love to cook for her and for my kids. And also number 4 is active service, right? Simple things like making breakfast in bed, walking the dog, right? Demonstrates you care about your partner. Let's see.
Even if you used your wife's car or your husband's car and you took it and filled up the tank for them.
Yeah.
That's an act of service. You know, it's just simple things. Or when my husband does some yard work, like, that's sexy to me. I'm like, oh, look at my man doing that yard work, you know? And that's an act of service. You know, it's simple little things like that that fills up your love tank.
Yeah. Like doing dishes, guys. You know, simple as that. Do some dishes for your woman. You know, and lastly, number 5, physical touch. And that's another key, man. A lot of, you know, who don't like hugs? I'm a hugger, so I love hugs. You know, I love that, you know, and that's, you know, we hug each other all the time, man. I hug my wife all the time, give her a kiss. Physical touch is important, you know, and now I'm not talking about sexual.
It's holding hands.
You know, holding hands. A lot of you guys are embarrassed to hold your wife's hand or your girlfriend's hand, man. Don't be embarrassed. You know, if that's the person you love, then you show it, man. That's the thing. People are so scared and want to act tough, and, you know, it's okay. There's just no time for that, to be tough. You know, I'm not the toughest dude in the world, but, you know, I protect my family. But, you know, I hold my wife's hand. I'll carry her purse. I don't care. I'm secure in my manhood, you know. So physical touch is another one. So that's the 5 love languages for all you men out there and women.
Find out which one is your spouse's or partner's love language. Which one fills up their love tank.
Yep.
You know, there's 5 different ones, and they may have
work.
2. They may have 3. They may have 1. It just depends on the person.
Yep. And they work, and that's what I say. Going back to knowing your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. Learn the love languages. It's important, and it works. I mean, that's how you're going to get that longevity.
And
you know?
I don't know, like, for us, we're married, and I mean, sometimes pillow talk. Pillow talk is good. You lay down on your bed before you go to sleep at night and just talk. Share your day. Talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. That's not the time to start an argument, but it is a good time just to share your heart, share your day, share your thoughts. Maybe it's the time you want to be lovey-dovey and just tell the person how much they mean to you. Or, you know, maybe that's the time you want to show your appreciation and say, hey, I really appreciated that you went out of your way this week to do 1, 2, and 3, you know. So, I mean, pillow talk is always nice, and it's a good way to end a night on a good note, you know, because one thing, like with my husband and I, you don't go to bed angry. Do not go to bed angry. If you have a disagreement throughout that day, before you shut your eyes to go to sleep that night, you need to have already settled the situation, forgave each other, and moved on. Because it's not good to go to bed angry at all. That's the worst thing you can do when you're in a relationship, is go to bed angry.
Yeah, but your homework for all of you out there is Tell your loved one, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, your significant other, 3 things that you love about them, that you appreciate about them. You know, it's fun and it makes you appreciate
Those
them even
little
more.
things.
So it's just the simple things, man. It's nothing real big, extravagant that most people think. It's the simple things. So just so you know,
It's the little things.
it's little things, right?
Make big difference.
All right, guys. So our next topic is now relationship fears. What's things you fear in a relationship or marriage?
I think a lot of fears in relationships, young and old, is to be cheated on. People fear that, or have your spouse to have an affair, or and that goes a lot with the trust. When you're in a relationship, if you can't trust the person, then you probably should not be in that relationship. If you can't trust them, because all that does is cause insecurities, and then even if you can accuse your spouse of doing something and they're not doing it, but because you feel insecure about it or you have the trust issues, you're pouring out on them your issues, and then it pushes them away. It doesn't help the relationship at all. So if you don't have trust, then you probably shouldn't. You're not ready for a relationship, because a relationship needs trust to thrive.
And also, like, besides the trust, I think you should also, like, not jump into a relationship so fast, because that's what ruins a relationship too. Like, also, I think personally you should be friends before you even jump into a relationship, because friends, you can actually get to know that person more, because you're obviously learning with them even when you're in a relationship. But it's so easier to be friends first, because even if it doesn't work out as a friendship, at least you know that you were never together, like, in getting serious. Because it's more easier for a friendship breakup than it is for a relationship breakup, if that makes sense. And also, I think you have to work on yourself. Especially, don't jump into a relationship after another, because you're just going to break yourself into this thing, and it's just going to get worse and worse. And like, every relationship you get into, it's not going to work, because you're just jumping from one relationship to another, and it's just not going to work. And then everybody's going to be like, what the heck is the matter with this girl? Or what the heck is the matter with this guy? And that's what causes the argument too, because you're going to be like, oh, you're cheating, oh, da-da-da. You're going to get all crazy for no reason, because you never got to really know that person on a whole nother level. And that's why you should just start as friends in the beginning. Or if you were in a relationship that was bad, take time for yourself. Don't just jump because, oh, he gives me attention, he said he loves me. And also, that love word goes too fast with people. People say it to whoever. It's like when, no offense, but easy girls go with a guy, like, that's how the word love is. It just goes around with anybody. And I don't think people really understand what love is a lot of the time. They just be like, oh, I love you. No, you don't love that person. You just think you love them because they're giving you attention, because the person before didn't give you attention. And you really need to know yourself before you say that word love or get into another serious relationship.
The one thing, love is an action word. You have to prove that. You can't just say it. Anyone can just say it.
Exactly.
But love is an action word. It needs to be backed up with action. You cannot expect to say, I love you, and they're just going to be like, oh yeah, you love me because you said it. No, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove love.
And then they'll use that against you. Like, if you're saying I love you, they're going to be like, and they do something like cheat or something stupid, they're going to be like, oh, I thought you loved me though. Aren't you going to take me back? And that's the thing. They will trap you into something nice because they know you're so insecure or what?
Vulnerable.
Yeah, and then they're going to be like, oh yeah, I'll take you back. Don't do that, because it's just going to make it worse.
And
like,
that's breaking the boundaries. When you break up with someone, it's because you're breaking up with them and you're done, and that's it. Don't keep letting the person back, because you're setting a bad boundary.
Yeah,
because they're going to continue doing things saying, oh, well, she's just going to let me back anyways, or he's just going to let me back anyways. Because every time I do it, they let me back. So I could just keep doing it and then go back.
Yeah, and that again, that's with fear because they're so scared
Of being alone.
that alone, exactly, but they're scared that somebody else isn't going to treat them like they don't know. Fear is also like they don't know, like when someone is being really good to you, they're like, oh, they just want to like have sex with me or whatever. No, they're really trying to like love you because they see that you've been hurt so many times. Like there's still good guys and girls out there. It's just so hard to find nowadays. That's why you really have to stay true to who you are, and don't like let that wall down ever. Don't let anyone change you. Be who you are, because you know what, it's a lot of people that will change, and that's a part of fear because they're like, oh, it's okay, I'll just change a little bit for them because they said they love me or like me. Don't ever do that. Stay true to who you are, because a lot of people nowadays don't stay true to who they are. And if like you really know them, you're like, that's not you. That's not how you used to act. I know the real you. Like, just stay true to who you are really. And again, that goes into fear of being in a relationship.
And that goes into...
They act like someone they're not, and they change so much, and they forget, like when they break up with somebody, they forget who they are. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. And you get into a depression, or you have bad anxiety, especially when like you got cheated on a lot, because that's what kind of happened to me, and that's why like I can't really trust anyone. And it's hard. It's very hard. Trust me, guys. Like, I know there's people probably out there too, but it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Well, I mean, in a relationship, the thing nowadays, like nobody wants to put in the work, man. People are lazy, you know. Everyone thinks it's, oh, I want the easy way out, snap my fingers. They want that, what I call a microwave relationship. Like, I put it in, and then, boom, it's just going to be perfect. No relationship is perfect, man. Meanwhile, I can tell you, we had so many ups and downs. And I thank God for my wife, because she's been with me through thick and thin. And the good, the bad, the ugly, you name it, she's there. She's loyal, man. And that's one thing people need to understand is loyalty. And you know, why hurt somebody? You know, it gets me when somebody is good and you treat them bad. You know, why is there people like that? Like, somebody loves you and truly cares about you, and no matter what, through your ugliness and goodness, but then you want to treat them bad, but then you go with this nobody that calls you out of your name, that, you know, that just downgrades you, man, and oh, I love him, and why do people do that, especially ladies, man? Why do you go back to
they don't feel like they don't love themselves enough and feel like they deserve it.
But then that's again the fear. Yeah. Because maybe they were treated like that from their parents, or it's always like before even a relationship, like your family might have treated you like crap. So once you think you found the perfect guy or girl, that's when they're like, oh, I'll never get someone like that. And then, you know, also what I hate is movies. They always want it to be like movies. It's never going to be like, you know, Cinderella or any of that. It's gonna take time. You're really gonna have to work for it. In any relationship, even if it's good, you're still gonna have bad times, little arguments. But at the same time, you have to learn how to forgive. And it might take a long time, but you're gonna have to, or you're gonna have this gut feeling, and you're just gonna be like, it's gonna stick with you.
Yeah. But I always say, in anything, love is the key. Love is the key. No matter what you do, if you don't have that love, it ain't gonna work. It don't matter what you do. But if you have love, I'm talking about unconditional love. But don't mean like for you guys or even the women, but mainly it's guys that are cheating, or, you know, oh, she loves me, she'll take me back, she took me back before, and blah blah blah. No, don't keep doing the same thing, man. You should be improving. You should be getting better and better and better. You know, don't stay at the same level, man. You gotta up your game. And it takes work, and that's the thing. People don't want to put work. It's like a garden. you can't just look at a garden and let it grow. It takes work to cultivate and till the ground and maintain it. And that's what a relationship is. It's maintaining and love. If you truly love that person, you're not going to hurt that person. You're not going to do stuff to bring them down. You're going to always lift them up. And when they're weak, you're strong. When you're weak, they're there for you to back you up.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways. And that's how you got to be, man. And that's what it's like a lost art now. And it's sad, man. It's sad.
I think people need to, you hear the saying, "Oh, she's my ride or die." Okay, there's nothing wrong with that saying, and you can have a person that's your ride or die, but you're not being a ride or die when you keep taking back a cheater. Then you're just being a fool, because you're not learning, and you're saying, "Oh, well, I just keep taking him back because I'm the ride or die." No.
No,
That's
because at
not
that
being
point,
a ride or die.
At that point, you're just looking stupid.
Yeah.
Period.
You're being a fool.
And you're just going to make yourself look even more dumb because you're like, oh, I love him, but he doesn't love you. I'm sorry, sis, but he doesn't love you. And that's when you need to get out of that relationship.
Yes.
Because
it's abuse.
It's going to take time. Like, it's going to hurt. Trust me, it's going to hurt. But it's going to feel good when you finally find that man. And he's going to feel dumb because you're glowing. You're looking good. And then, like, you're just going to feel more confident because no one should ever feel like crap. Nobody. And at that point, if you're feeling so low, run. Get out. Even if you have kids, it's going to be hard, but you need to do it for you. I know you're still going to love that person, but at the end of the day, why hurt? If it's hurting you, leave. Seriously.
Yeah. Don't stick around. If you're a parent especially, what are you teaching your kids by sticking with somebody that's mentally or physically abusive to you? What are you teaching your kids? Are you teaching them that, oh, it's okay to stick around because you love them? Or you can't get away because they love you? I mean, don't do that to yourself, and don't teach your kids that. Teach them what it is to be a strong woman, a strong man, if you're on the other spectrum and you're the man being mentally abused or physically abused, because it happens. I mean, just, you have to think, there's somebody smaller, your little mini me, is looking at you and watching you, and what are you teaching them? Are you teaching them, oh, it's okay that a man calls you B words and hoes and whores and whatever, calls you out your name? It's okay. Just stay with it. It's okay because that's your dad. Or I'm staying because you need to have him in your life. No, don't do that. It's wrong. It's wrong to you, and it's wrong as an example to your child.
Well, also, if they're still young, I mean, they're gonna understand, but they're gonna be like, you know what, my mom or my dad did it for a reason, because they actually cared about my safety or what was going on. Because you know what, your kid's gonna grow up if you stay in that situation, and they're gonna be abusive. Like, they see that, like, they really do see that, and if you're staying in that, it's gonna get be worse for your kids. Like, and I know parents are like, oh, I don't want my kid to be like me. Then get out that situation ASAP. I'm telling you.
Don't repeat the cycle.
Because there's a lot of people out there in abusive relationships. And look, some kids are dying because their parents stay. I mean, I'm not trying to be like any like rude or anything, but really, there's children dying because their mom or their dad wanted to stay in that relationship, and they're killing their kids. Like, how is that fair? Like, really, like it's gonna hurt, but you need time, and it's okay to hurt. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna feel way better and be like, I'm so glad I got out of that situation for me and my children or my family. And just stay with somebody that really supports you too during that time. That will understands your situation, that you can talk to. Because you really do need someone to talk to. Don't ever leave it under the bush. Like, talk to somebody. If you need to talk to someone, go talk to somebody. Really.
And also, just remember that there's no perfect relationship, because you got two different people that are totally different, and don't think that, oh, I'm gonna find that perfect person, or the ones that, oh, I have this list and they gotta meet these requirements. It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. But that's why I go. It takes work, right? It takes work.
But it's okay to have qualities that you look for in a person. There's nothing wrong to look for those qualities in a person, you know, but don't stick by this one list and I
Put 'em in a
can't
box.
go off this list, and if they can't meet the list, then they're not for me.
Yeah.
We're all imperfect, and we're two imperfect people trying to come together and be one and be, you know, what people would say the perfect relationship.
But
You know.
you know, you want to also find the one like us. You know,
Opposites attract.
opposites attract, because like what I lack, she has stronger in, and what she lacks, I'm stronger in, and we complement, and so we come together, and that's what makes us one. You know, so just remember that it you know, it's that work.
Your opinion?
Especially if you have past problems that happen when you're younger, like it affects you with everything, and then you're like, oh, I'm scared to lose that person because like you lost somebody when you're younger, and also another fears is when what's it called? Like in our generation, the fear is cheating and lying. And when you're in a relationship, you have to like trust somebody first before you get into a relationship. And also, it's on the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming out. Like, what's it called? You have to have somebody that understands you, because if that person doesn't understand you, then people are just gonna like, then they're not gonna help you with your situations that you have bad problems with, because then
Somebody that's been in the same situation, right?
situation.
Yeah.
Like me and my boyfriend have the same situation, so we get along. And like when he's at his lowest, I push him up, and when I'm at my lowest, he pushes me up to make me happy, and I make him happy. And also like when like everybody sees me glow up, and like all my exes want to get back to me and they text me and all that stuff, and I'm like, no, because you treated me wrong.
And that's also like where sometimes you need a boundary as well, because like you can't put everything on the internet, because then all your little exes or your so-called friends will try to get with that person. They'll do anything to try to take your guys' like relationship, destroy it. And that's why you have to be careful what you're putting on the internet. Like if you get in a fight, do not put your business out there, because that's when they're like, okay. People read that stuff, like, trust me, like, and there's so many people breaking up nowadays because of the internet and what they post. And then girls are sneaking their way in, or guys are sneaking their way in to your little girl's DMs or whatever you want to say, and that's when everything will get destroyed. And you need to be careful what you really do post on the internet. Do not post when you're mad. Trust me, do not. Because there's some sneaky people out there, and they'll do anything right when you're mad, and they'll know it. Like, especially if they know you and you guys been friends, they'd be like, oh, it's okay, because I know he'll come to my house. And that's when relationships get destroyed, because you'll do something because you're mad at her, and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to F her, whatever. And then boom, it's done.
See, we grew up in the 80s, so we didn't have to worry about social media. I don't even do social media, but yeah, so I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, you know. We do face-to-face, you know, that's how we do it in our generation. But also for, just real quick, for, like, if you're not in a relationship either, and you got kids, man, don't take it out on your kids, man. Don't leave them hanging. Still be a father, still be a mother to your kids. That's very important, man. Whether you're not together, your kids are important, and that's no excuse, man. Oh, well, my baby's mama won't let me see her, or my whatever, but you can do something about it. But don't neglect your kids, man. I can't stand that. You know, don't neglect your kids.
So mine kind of goes with what Sana said about like posting stuff on social media and everything. What you post on social media some people, if they know you and like you post if you're angry or sad, people could use that against you, and that could also ruin relationships, because if, like, say this guy's girlfriend posts something, and if your friend has you on social media and they see what you post, they can go and tell whoever, and they could use it against you, and it could ruin you, and it could ruin your relationship.
Alright guys, well, that is the end of part 1 series of just different topics really, but mostly relationships. So I really hope you guys enjoyed, and look out for part 2, because part 2 is just gonna get more crazy. And also put your opinions down in the comments below. I want to hear a lot of your guys' opinions on what you thought about our conversation and what you think just in general, like about
something we should discuss.
Yeah, what we should discuss. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, don't forget to like it up and subscribe, guys. We're almost at 90. Ooh. But yeah, so that's about it. We are out, DNS Squad. Bye.
Bye.